11 to 10, Tusac. 9 to 4, Welsh Note. 12 to 1, Moonlight Lady and Dublin Lad. 14 to 1, Bar. Tusac and Ajala still to go in. Tusac, the favourite, going into stall 2, and I see that Welsh Note is not yet in, the second favourite, but I think she's the last. And over to Peter O'Sullivan.
Yes, that's about it, John. And that away, Chalou breaks very fast towards the right, and Dublin Lad towards the left. And Dublin Lad is the early leader towards the left, being tracked by Welsh Note with well up there Absolute Service. Dublin Lad is the leader from Absolute Service, Ajala, Welsh Note, and right over on the far side, Sperry. Dublin Lad, though, with the advantage, being tracked by Welsh Note. Dublin Lad from Welsh Note as they race down past the halfway mark. Tusac well there towards the right in the white cap, Brent Thompson. Right over on the far right is Chalou, but Dublin Lad still with the advantage from Welsh Note. Tusac under pressure. Dublin Lad from Welsh Note, then Tusac, then comes Ajala, and racing into the closing stages now, Welsh Note and Tusac. Dublin Lad over on the far side. Welsh Note with the sheepskin noseband between horses takes a marginal advantage now as they race into the closing stages, and Hot Bee finishing very fast too as they race to the line. It's Welsh Note, Hot Bee on the far side, Tusac on the near side. Hot Bee's just got up to win it. Hot Bee's won it from Welsh Note and Tusac. Hot Bee for me the winner. The judges call for a photograph, but I think we'll find that Hot Bee's won it from Welsh Note and Tusac in a very close photo for seconds, but I think Hot Bee has got up on the line all right to create the first shock of the meeting. Hot Bee, ridden by Taron Williams, number 8, owned by Mr. A.G. Speak and trained by John Bridger.
5 to 2 favourite Faustus. Tripwire, the same trainer-jockey combination, has won the first race. There's been a fair bit of money for him, although he was beaten by Takfar Yarmed last time out at Leicester by a head, and they meet on the same terms, so there's nothing much between those two.
That is Takfar.
There is the horse that beat Tripwire at Leicester and the Diamonds, Tafkar Yarmed, the only blinkered runner in the field, and they're a very smart pair of blinkers indeed. Just about the last in, over to Peter O'Sullivan.
That's it, and they're running. Barrack Street and Gorgeous Algernon and Foos in the early stages. Foos, Gorgeous Algernon, Barrack Street and Tripwire right up there with Thimno just in behind them. Takfar Yarmed is next. Barrack Street has lost ground, and Dartis, and the two back markers are Faustus and Belldale Star, and Foos is making it now from Tripwire and Gorgeous Algernon as they run down towards the home turn. Foos in the lead from Tripwire, Gorgeous Algernon. Then Dancing Zeta just in behind them. Rethymno towards the outside being tracked by Faustus. Foos over on the far rail, the left of the picture as we see them, with Gorgeous Algernon. Takfar Yarmed trying to come between horses. Right up there, Tripwire, Dancing Zeta, then Rethymno and Faustus coming there with quite a strong run towards the far right of the picture, Steve Corvin in the white cap, and over on the far side towards the left, it's Takfar Yarmed. On the stand side, it's Faustus. Between horses is Barrack Street. It's Faustus, though, with the fractional advantage now as they race into the final furlong, being chased by Belldale Star. Faustus from Belldale Star, Steve Corvin from Grevilstocky as they race up towards the line. Faustus from Belldale Star putting in a great challenge, but Faustus gets there. Faustus the clever winner from Belldale Star. Barrack Street and Takfar Yarmed in a photo for second and third, and the judges called a photo for first place as well. A photo between Faustus and Belldale Star, with Faustus just the very clever winner indeed from Belldale Star, and a photo also for third and fourth between Takfar Yarmed and Barrack Street.
Number 9 is Nomination. His season started early at Newbury in April when he beat Griffon. And he's won twice since. He also won at York on both occasions. Last time out, he had half a length to spare over Roaring Reaver. He was a bit of a disappointment in the Coventry Stakes at Ascot when 6th behind Shoreblade. He was very much fancied there, but I think that being held up didn't suit him all that much, and he's been going to have much more use of him made in his subsequent races. Green Desert 2-1 favourite, Glebe Place 3-1, and Toto 9-2, a tall 11-2, and 8-1 bar. The best turned out horse for this Richmond Stakes is number 2, Bold Arrangement, who gets a £150 prize, and the person in charge is John Halliwell, and the judge for that £150 award was John Oaksey. Bold Arrangement, a 20-1 chance, quite generous odds, you may think, for an unbeaten colt. He's won all his 3 races. He won here first time out in a 16-runner race, and then he went on to win minor races at Nottingham and Leicester, but I don't think, Jimmy, that he's been flat out yet.
No, and as you say, John, he's taken on a very different sort of task here today, running against horses like a Tall and Green Desert. But a good-looking colt, and as you say, he hadn't been bottomed yet. He got a little bit warm, I think, John, hasn't he?
Yes, a bit on the warm side. 1 or 2 of these were tending to in the paddock. He seems to be going into the stalls all right. A Tall's in, Stalker's in. That's DJS just going in. Green Desert has eased a little bit to 9-4 from 2-1. Glebe Place, the second favourite, at 3-1. In Toto, 9-2. A Tall 11-2, and 8-1 bar those 4. A really fascinating race for the Richmond Stakes. Glebe Place just had 1 run, a very hot maiden indeed at Newmarket. He got home by a short head. Here's Nomination. In Toto, in the background, number 8. He won easily on very firm ground at Kempton last time out, but he hated the ground, and Jeremy Tree wouldn't run him at Ascot because the ground was too fast, but the ground should suit him here. Here's Peter O'Sullivan.
Glebe Place nearest to us. That's it. They're under orders in the way. And a pretty good even break it is, too. They settle down in the early stages. That's Eastern Song in the centre. Running very fast is DJS, and a tall. Eastern Song, and Nomination towards the left of the picture. Eastern Song, the sheepskin noseband. A tall towards the right, towards the left, Nomination. And Nomination being tracked by Glebe Place, and right over on the far side, Bold Arrangement. On the near side is Green Desert. And it's Nomination with the advantage now from Eastern Song. Then towards the right, Green Desert, as they run down past the 3 furlong pole. A tall, Nomination, Green Desert running very smoothly on the near side. Glebe Place getting nowhere at the moment with Steve Cawthon. Nomination, a tall, and Green Desert. Stalker's finishing quite well, but it's Nomination and Green Desert now as they enter the closing stages. Nomination on the far side, Green Desert on the near side. These two, Nomination and Green Desert, as they race into the closing stages. Nomination with the advantage from Green Desert as they race up towards the line. It's Nomination from Green Desert, and as they come to the line, Nomination is going to win it well. At the line, Nomination is the winner. Green Desert is second. It's very close for third between Stalker and Bold Arrangement. They're in a photo for third. And in fact, last was one of the early leaders, Eastern Song. And so the result, first, number 9, Nomination, owned by Mr. F. Salmon, trained by Paul Cole, written by Richard Quinn. Second was number 6, Green Desert, owned by Maktoum Al Maktoum, trained by Michael Stout and written by Walter Swinburne, and it's a photo for third place. A photo between Stalker and Bold Arrangement. Very close between those, but this Nomination has come back on the good ground very, very emphatically, as we can review with Julian Wilson.
A most impressive performance, made every yard of the running, and to be honest, never really looked like getting beaten. To start with, Paul Cole tried to settle this horse to get the trip. Now he's letting him run on again. He's proving himself to be a very good horse indeed. On the rails, a one from the right there is Green Desert, who seemed to be going very, very easily indeed at this point. A Tall has every chance just this side of Nomination. And In Toto looms up on the outside with a bit of a chance, just racing a little bit wide from the other horses. But Glebe Places never really got into the race with a chance. That's him with the white cap back in 5th or 6th place. Here, Nomination comes under the whip from Richard Quinn, and Walter Swinburne challenges it, and just for a moment it looked as though Walter could go on to win. But his horse doesn't respond to swelter pressure as Nomination does. He got to within half a length of him, and as Richard Quinn drives his horse out, pulls his stick through to his left hand, now it's Nomination who's going away inside the final furlong. Both arrangements run on really well there on the far side, but in fact Stalker, right underneath the stand rails, runs on best of all, eventually to get 3rd place. But the further they go, the further Nomination is going away, and physically he looked a tremendously impressive horse today, and in the race he's looked even more impressive. Yes, Stalker, I think, is certainly 3rd.
Yes, and officially placed 3rd was number 11, Stalker, and 4th, number 2, Bold Arrangement. So just to recap the official result of the OCL Richmond Stakes. First, number 9, Nomination, owned by Mr. F. Salmon, trained by Paul Cole and ridden by Richard Quinn. Second was number 6, Green Desert, owned by Sheikh Maktoum Al Maktoum, trained by Michael Stout and ridden by Walter Swinburne. And third was number 11, Stalker, owned by Mr. P. Featherstone Godley and Mrs. Brown Maynard, trained by Peter Walwyn and ridden by Joe Mercer. The distance is 2.5 lengths and 4 lengths, and officially 4th was number 2, Bold Arrangement, who is the last of that little group we're looking at there. Nomination by Dominion, out of Rivers Maid by Rarity. Nomination, the 8-to-1 winner. His Dominion be represented in one of our races tomorrow, the renowned 5-furlong sprint here, the King George Stakes by Primo Domini. Nomination cost 180,000 guineas as a yearling. And this is 4th success. Only once been out of the money in the Coventry, where perhaps he got a little disappointed by being held up. Clearly likes to be up with the leaders. And a very, very useful horse this for Mr. Salmon, and he looks like going on too. Paul Cole being congratulated on his success, and the full starting price is as follows.
First, number 9, Nomination, 8-to-1. Second, number 6, Green Desert, 9-to-4 favorite. And third, number 11, Stalker, 25. Primo Domini, 11-to-8. ABBA, 3-to-1. Prince Sabo, 7-to-1. Primo Domini, the favorite, now 5-to-4. 5-to-4, Primo Domini. Hilton Brown, 9-to-1. Prince Ramo, 14s. Alpine String, 16-to-1. And it's 20-to-1 bar these.
That's Storm Warning. Number 13, Willie Carson, seeking to break Willie Hastings' Bass as duck for the season. Filly by Tumblewind. Left the paddock quite early. She's been very well behaved. And she goes into her stall number 4, or due into number 4. And the starter, waiting to see them all installed now for this always sizzling sprint. That's it. They're away. And a very fast break by Alamede in the center, and Alamede is the early leader. Cameroon is running very fast, and Jonah Chris over on the far side, and ABBA is absolutely trailing them over the far side. And it's Jonah Chris now from Cameroon and Prince Sabo. Primo Domini running very fast just in behind Cameroon, and on the near side Alamede, Hilton Brown, And then comes Imperial Jade just in behind them, but over towards the left it's Cameroon and Primo Domini coming there, absolutely cruising in the center. Primo Domini in the center, being chased on the far side by Prince Sabo, putting in a very good run. Abba's coming there now very strongly towards the stand side, but it's Primo Domini from Prince Sabo on the far side. Primo Domini, the favorite from Prince Sabo as they race into the closing stages. Primo Domini from Prince Sabo. Prince Sabo putting in a tremendous challenge. They come to the line, but Primo Domini's just held him. Primo Domini the winner. Prince Sabo is second, and Prince Ramo is probably just third. Primo Domini and Prince Sabo, amazingly two former stable companions, trained in the same stable once by the late Brian Swift, fight out this thrilling finish to the good King George Stakes with the winner, number 7, Primo Domini, owned by the Cheveley Park Stud, trained by Michael Stout and written by Walter Swinburne. And they're away. And Bolden, one of the first to show, with Sharp Noble. Bolden going on the near side to us, Sharp Noble over on the far side. Downing Street is right up with them too, and then comes 7 Boar. And it's Bolden from Downing Street, Willie Carson from Steve Cawthon. Then comes 7 Boar and Chicklet with Sharp Noble. And then Fish and Chips, the favourite, just in behind the leaders. Pictograph comes next with Immortal Dancer. Sharouk is one of the back markers. And Bolden with the clear advantage over Downing Street and 7 Boar. Just in behind them, Chicklet, and behind Chicklet is Sharp Noble. Pictograph towards the outside as they take this turn. And still Bolden from Downing Street and 7 Boar and Sharp Noble and Chicklet, and then comes Pictograph, and then Fish and Chips as they breast the rise, begin the run downhill. And still Bolden with the advantage from Downing Street. Then comes 7 Boar, then Chicklet, then Fish and Chips. Pictograph on the outside towards the right of the picture in about 7th. Bolden though still from Downing Street. Sharp Noble, 7 Boar, just in behind them Chicklet. Fish and Chips travelling well in behind the leaders. Pictograph going well towards the outside. Bolden it is though from Sharp Noble on the outside. Fish and Chips coming there quite strongly, and on the near side Hayati is coming there with Pictograph. But as they come down now towards the 2 furlong pole, it's Bolden being pressed by Pictograph, Fish and Chips and Hayati. Fish and Chips and Pictograph, Fish and Chips, Bolden and Pictograph and Hayati towards the stand side as they come down towards the furlong pole. Fish and Chips travelling very smoothly indeed, the favourite. Bolden is second. Then comes Hayati and Pictograph. They're inside the final furlong, and it's Fish and Chips the leader from Bolden. Then comes Pictograph and Hayati as they race up towards the line. Fish and Chips is going to win it very easily. Fish and Chips is the winner. Bolden is second. Pictograph is third. That's the 1, 2, 3. 4 was Hayati, followed by Immortal Dancer and Chicklet. Behind them 7 Boar, and then came Sharouk. Then Qualidare Flyer. Behind Qualidare Flyer was Pennies to Pounds, and then Downing Street, who was up there early. Then Liffey Lass, and last was Sharp Noble. And so the result of the Extel handicap: first, number 17, Fish and Chips, owned by Dr. M. Buffer, trained by Luca Kumani and written by Pat Edery. The rider's looking across to the starter. Taffy Thomas on the only 3-year-old Coublé, looking as though he's wanting to make a fairly quick break. Brent Thompson up there on Gildoran.
Under starter's orders.
And they're away. And as they settle down in the early stages, Gildoran and Coublé go on together. Had a valuable witness on the inside. Then Destroyer, Sergeant Drummer, Band, and Patrizio, the back marker. And once again, it's Gildoran, who's set out on a cup journey from the outset and very successfully before, is attempting it once again, being followed by Coublé, Destroyer, just one off the rail. On the rail is Valuable Witness, then Band, Sergeant Drummer, and Patrizio not quite in the picture, and Brent Thompson making it a good strong pace on Gildoran from Coublé. Then Destroyer, Valuable Witness, Sergeant Drummer, Band, and Patrizio. Gildoran attempting to become only the third horse since the war to complete the Goodwood Cup double in successive years. His successful predecessors, Lamos and Proverb. Proverb, who was the last 3-year-old to win it in 1973, and Gildoran's being followed by the only 3-year-old this afternoon, Kublai, with Destroyer in third, Valuable Witness and Sergeant Drummer 4 and 5, 6 and 7, Band and Patrizia. Gildoran, Kublai, Destroyer, little gap to Sergeant Drummer, Valuable Witness, Band and Patrizia. The 3-year-old taking a good strong hold there in behind the leader, Gildoran. Destroyer in third, 4 Sergeant Drummer, 5 Valuable Witness, 6 and 7 Band and Patrizia. Beginning a sharpish right-hand turn uphill. Gildoran stretching out well ahead of Kublai. Behind Kublai is Destroyer. Then Sergeant Drummer, Valuable Witness, Band and Patrizia. Right away at the furthest point from the stands now. Gildoran still from Kublai. Destroyer, Sergeant Drummer, Valuable Witness, Band and Patrizia. It's just under a mile to run in the Goodwood Cup now. 2 miles, 5 furlongs in all. Gildoran still the leader from Kublai. Destroyer, Band making ground. Sergeant Drummer, then Valuable Witness. And Patrizia the back marker. Gildoran being pressed by Kublai, Band, Destroyer. Then Sergeant Drummer, Valuable Witness getting a little bit closer. Patrizia the back marker. Gildoran quickening away again from Kublai. Destroyer, Sergeant Drummer, Band, Valuable Witness and Patrizia as they begin to run downhill towards the half-mile pole now. Gildoran still going very well within himself from Kublai. Valuable Witness being pulled off the fence by Pat Edery. Then comes Destroyer. Racing down now towards the 3-furlong pole. Gildoran from Kublai and Valuable Witness. Past the 3-furlong marker, and it's still Gildoran from Kublai. Valuable Witness trying to make ground over on the far rail. Then comes Patrizia, who has moved into fourth. Now Pat Edery has pulled out Valuable Witness, and it's Valuable Witness now who's coming to challenge Gildoran. Kublai, the 3-year-old, over on the far rail. Valuable Witness has surged into the lead now, and it's Valuable Witness from Kublai and Gildoran as they race down towards the furlong pole. Valuable Witness striding away from Kublai and Gildoran. Then comes Patrizia, well inside the final furlong. Valuable Witness still being valiantly chased by the 3-year-old Kublai, but he's going to hold them all as they stride to the line. Valuable Witness wins in tremendous style. Kublai is second, Gildoran is third, fourth is Patrizia, and struggling a long way back, Destroyer, Sergeant Drummer and Band. And so the result of the 1985 Goodwood Cup. First, number 8, Valuable Witness, owned by Mr. Stavros Niarchos, trained by Jeremy Tree and ridden by Pat Edery. Second, number 10, Kublai, owned by Mrs. S. Khan and Mr. Peter Wetzel, trained by Jeff Lewis and ridden by Taffy Thomas. And third, number 1, Gildoran, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained by Barry Hills, ridden by Brent Thompson. Fourth was number 6, Patrizia. This is the winner, Valuable Witness, whose trainer Jeremy Tree won it no less than 30 years ago with his own horse Double Bore. And this a second triumph in the race for Pat Edery, who won it first in 1972. This is Alba Hathry. And when she's in, it'll be just Xyzophone to go. Gay Helene has backed out now. That's right. Now Alba Hathry. And now the handlers is going to assist Paul Cook. She just can be a little bit funny, this daughter of the minstrel. And that's it. They're all in. Under starters orders. And they're away. Little Deep Water on the near side, Alba Hathry on the far side, Stella Grandi and Free Guest, and just in behind him I Want to Be and Goody Blake. The back marker is English Spring, and it's Alba Hathry, the fractional leader from Little Deep Water, with Free Guest between horses, then Goody Blake and Morning Devotion, Domino's Nurse on the far side, then comes Stella Grandi, Gay Helene, Zizophon and English Spring the back marker, and Alba Hathry, the favourite, disputing it with Little Deep Water, Steve Cawthon and Tony Murray. Free Guest is a very close third. Morning Devotion on the inside, Domino's Nurse on the outside, Stella Grandi comes next, followed by Goody Blake and I Want to Be and Gay Helene making a little bit of progress. But as they begin to run downhill already, it's Little Deep Water, Steve Cawthon in the lead from Tony Murray on Alba Hathry. Then comes Free Guest. Behind Free Guest is Domino's Nurse, then Stella Grandi. Then comes Gay Helene and Goody Blake as they run down towards the 4 furlong pole. Little Deep Water towards the left as we see them, the favourite in the sheepskin noseband, Alba Hathry, almost upsides. Then comes Free Guest, Domino's Nurse and Stella Grandi, and Tony Murray making his way right across towards the stand side on Alba Hathry, looking for the better ground. He's coming right over towards the stands rails. Steve Cawthon staying over on the far side with Free Guest also and Stella Grandi between them, but it's Alba Hathry with the advantage on the right of the picture. Free Guest in the centre, Free Guest in the centre, Alba Hathry under pressure now on the right. Free Guest from Alba Hathry, then comes Stella Grandi, then Gay Helene, but Free Guest, the 4-year-old, the only senior, has stormed into the lead now to go clear, and it's going to be another one for Luca Kumani by the look of it. Free Guest is a long way clear from Stella Grandi and Zizophon. Alba Hathry on the near side getting nowhere, Domino's Nurse upsides, but racing up towards the line, and Free Guest, the only 4-year-old, strides well clear to win it very comfortably indeed. I Want to Be his second, and third is Domino's Nurse. 4 came Zizophon, then Stella Grandi and Gay Helene and Alba Hathry, who faded right out of it, and then English Spring, and behind English Spring was Goody Blake, and then Morning Devotion, and last was Little Deep Water. And so another resounding triumph for Luca Kumani, who won the Extel yesterday, the winner of the Vodafone Nassau. Number 1, Free Guest, owned by Fiddlestad Limited, trained by Luca Kumani, written by Pat Edwards.
We have 8-1 now on Altrui, that's the favourite. Si Senor 10-1. Time Machine, Chaplain's Club and Homeblade, all the same price, 10-1. Orojoya 11-1. Padre Pio is on 12s from 11. Alak 14-1, that's gone out from 12s. All Agreed and Zanata and Our Jocker 20-1, and it's 25-1 by these.
Most of the runners already down at the 6 furlong start. There is the grey filly, Happy Hannah. Happy Hannah in the colours of Mr. Bill Gredley, the yellow colours with the striped sleeves and a white cap. This filly's run some good races this season, but she's been very high in the handicap, in 3-year-old handicaps. She's nearly always giving a lot of weight away all round. She's the mount of Paul Eddery. Clive Britton, her trainer, also has Gloria Fiera in the race. Paul Cook going through there on number 22, Zanata. Paul won this 12 years ago on Alpha Damus, who, like Zanata, was trained by Michael Stout. Paul also won it the year before on Touch Paper in 72, and the year before that, Jimmy, I think that was when you won it on Apollo 9.
Yes, that was a great race for me, John. He came with a rattle at the end and just got up. But Paul, I think, rides this race really well, John. He knows exactly where he is at the right time.
20-1 is Zanata's latest price. Drawn at number 10. The stalls have been pulled apart. There, as you can see, they're in blocks of 10, and the 30 stalls, or 28 as it will now be, with 2 non-runners, Cool Enough and Dorney. The runners take up the whole width of the course. Number 10 is Orojoya. Now this is one of the more fancied runners and right at his best at the moment. He was second to a very fast filly, an ABBA at Newbury. He was also second to today's top weight, C Signor at York. He's got a 6-pound pull in the weights with C Signor. He's 11 to 1. Everyone seems to think, and I agree with them, that C Signor is improving, but I think this horse is improving too, because he won by 8 lengths, by no means all out, at Kempton last time out. Admittedly, it wasn't a strong field, but Pettingale, the second horse, more than useful and running here tomorrow in our first race. Numismatist in the background, Chaplin's Club in the foreground. And this is what the sky looks like behind the grandstand. That Jimmy and I, who are down here in the paddock, were looking straight at that cloud, and it looks as if there could be quite a bit more rain coming on and off, though there are quite a few bright patches as well as some black clouds, so I think we're going to get a few showers, but I think we're going to get some bright periods too. That's Alak in the well-known colours of Miss Monica Sheriff, wearing blinkers, and Alak, a soft ground specialist. Softer the better for him. He wouldn't run on anything but soft ground nowadays. He ran third to Breadcrumb and Polycratis in a conditioned race at Newbury, giving a lot of weight to those 2 3-year-olds. And he won first time out this season on heavy ground at Kempton by a short head from Fun Galore, with one of today's runners, Green Ruby, back in 4th and another numismatist back in 5th.
I thought he won the Air Gold Cup last year, John. I had a 5 each way on him, I think, and I thought we were home and dry. Do you remember?
Yes, and he was actually announced as the winner, but the photo showed that he was beaten by half a length, I think, Jimmy.
Looks well today, John, and I could see him run a really big race, couldn't you, if he runs back up to that air running?
Yes, and Pat will be able to get him covered up. Altrui, 8 to 1. C Signor, 11 to 1. With Time Machine, Chaplin's Club and Orojoyo, and 12 to 1, bar those 5. Altrui, he's been anti-post favourite for quite a few weeks now, as Stan Meller, his trainer, has just told us he's gone up a lot in the weights for his 4 wins that he's had recently, and he's much worse off in future handicaps. But this is a tough race to win, and I think it should be 10 to 1. The field, they went 10 to 1 this morning. Number 3 is Our Dynasty. Our Dynasty, a 4-year-old trained by Mick Lambert, won on the opening day of the season as a 2-year-old 2 seasons ago, and won very easily. He hasn't had too successful a time of late. He's very high in the weights. As we see, he's got 9.5, but he did win at Epsom, a 6-furlong handicap on soft ground at the Derby meeting. Nearest to us is Kaiseritsky and Willie Carson. The camera we're looking at that's giving us this picture is on the far side of the course, so Willie Carson, drawn number 29 on Kaiseritsky, that'll be on the left of the picture. There is the cameraman I was telling you about, with a marvellous shot of the runners in the stalls. That's Gloria Fiera. She's drawn 9. She hasn't run since May, but she ran a very good race in the 1,000 guineas. She was right in the fighting line at the 2-furlong marker.
Most important thing here, John, will be a fast start for these jockeys, because if you can get a really good break, you can then give a little bit of ground away and get just half the pace and bring your animal or your charge with a nice time run, because 6 furlongs takes a little bit of getting, actually. 5, you can run it in one breath, you can be in the front. Just getting a little warm there, as you see. Orojoya with Brent Thompson running in the colours of Mr. Robert Sangster. Goes in nice and quietly. There's the colours of Miss Monica Sheriff with Alak, The ground has come just right for a lap. Just that nice bit of give in the ground that he wants. Si Senor stands, waits to go into stall 2. I think we'll see Martin Lynch on Si Senor trying to get that quick start and then drop him back just off the pace to produce him with a late run. Number 33, one of the bottom weights, Camps Heath. He's going to go into stall 4, so quite well drawn. We are surmising actually that the ground is going to ride much faster down the stands rail. It usually does when the ground gets soft, so hence the low numbers have a big advantage. Well, I think there's not too many more to go in, so to let Peter get settled for this big field, 30 runners, and I think a real feat to call all of these, and Peter usually does. Let's join him now.
Thank you, James. This is Home Blade we're looking at, with the visor, and Alain Lecoeur due into stall 14. That's Glenn Manx over on the far side, and the one we're looking at now is Perfect Timing, number 25, drawn 7, Gary Carter. Home Blade just being hooded. That's Melody Park and Philip Robinson who went in the striped sleeves, just about 3 from us now. Willie Carson looking over his right shoulder. Another to come in from his right. He's right on the outside in stall 29. That's Glenn Manx over on the far side now with the breast girth. This is Singing Sailor, due into stall 17. Young Lee Jones claiming the £5 allowance. Altrui just drifts a point to 9-1. Si Senor, Time Machine, Chaplin's Club, and Orajoya, all 11. 12-1 bar those 5, and this is Manchester Skytrain. Number 30, Nick Carlisle is due in stall 25. There's Leicester on Time Machine, the 4. Irish trained by Pat Hughes, who'd surely become the first trainer in history to win a race at Goodwood, the Cheltenham National Hunt Festival, and Royal Ascot, all in the same season, the same year. So that was Manchester Skytrain. This is Singing Sailor, and that looks like it. The 28, all installed. They're under orders, and they're away. A fast break towards the right by Bold Fort. Bold Fort very fast away, Numismatist and Camps Heath also, and Padre Pio towards the right, and over on the left Kaiser Ritzky's up with them, so's All Agreed and Melody Park and Manchester Skytrain. But it looks as though the stand side at the moment have the advantage, with Tyrolli and Bold Fort disputing it from Si Senor. Just in behind them come Padre Pio, and then Camps Heath, and then Time Machine. Over on the left of the picture, it's our jock right up there with Orajoya also. And on the right of the picture, it's Si Senor, Tyrolli, Bold Fort, then Camps Heath, and then Time Machine edging out to the center of the course with Zanata also. But it's our jock over on the far side, Manchester Skytrain, Orajoya in the center. Orajoya with a fractional advantage now as they race towards the final furlong. Orajoya in the center, Home Blade, Camps Heath coming there very strongly. Our jock challenging, Altrui also on the far side. It's Orajoya in the center, and our jock as they race up towards the line, and Altrui putting in a tremendous run. Altrui's won it from our jock. Altrui from our jock and Orajoya. They're the 1, 2, 3 for me, but the judges call for a photo for all 3 places. I think we'll find that Altrui has just got up to beat our jock and Orajoya. I think they'll be the 3 principals. That is Altrui we're looking at now. Came with a devastating run over on the far side. Orajoya undisputably the leader at the furlong pole, being challenged all the time by our jock, and our jock possibly just got the better of Orajoya. Very close between those 2, but I think we'll find that Altrui, number 28, ridden by Michael Wilman, trained by Stan Meller and owned by Messrs Saunders and Kelly, just got up in the dying stages of this 1985 William Hill Stewart.
2-1. Billy Kaya 13-2, so is Bella Colora. 16-1, King of Clubs and Lidham on 20-1 Green Paradise. That's from 16s. Cataldi is 33-1 and 66-1 the others. Sharp Romance and Grey Desire.
Number 11 at Lidham, the best turned out horse, looked tremendously well in the paddock, even though he's been off the racecourse since April the 13th. In fact, he's had only one run this season, and it was a hard-fought win in the 2,000 guineas trial at Salisbury by half a length from Miami Count. Willie Carson, who rode him that day, again takes the mount. Willie won the first on Petrovich, but he ran in the top class last year, this colt. He had only 2 runs. Roussillon and Bern are now 2-to-1 joint favourites. Villicaya is 6-to-1 from 13-to-2. Bella Calora is 13-to-2, and it's 16-to-1 bar the 4. He looks really calm, this colt, Jimmy.
Looks very well. I should say he's taken it as well as any of the 10 runners, John, wouldn't it? He's hardly sweating. And when you think he's only had 2 runs last year and the one this.
There's sure to be a very strong gallop in this race, because Cataldi, the pacemaker for Roussillon, can go really fast, as he showed in the Queen Anne Stakes at Ascot and in the Champion Stakes last year at Newmarket, when he led till inside the last furlong nearly. He won the Lincoln. He's a really good horse. It's essential that pacemaker must be only about 10 pounds below top class, otherwise the rest of the field completely ignore him. Well, Cataldi is good enough for the jockeys to know they've got to keep him in their sights. And there's bound to be a tremendous gallop. He's drawn on the outside at number 1, but I don't think it'll take him very long to get across onto the inside rails. Next to him is Bern, but here's one we haven't had a look at, Green Paradise, one of the 2 runners from France, the other being Villicaya. And Green Paradise, 20-to-1 shot, the mount of Steve Cawthon. He ran a good race, went 4th to Sagas at Longchamp at the end of June in a Group 1, and that was over a mile and a furlong. He acts well on soft ground, this horse. He was 2nd in last year's 2,000 guineas in France, and not too bad value at 20-to-1, though I think, Jimmy, some of the others might be a bit too good for him.
I think so, John. I think the English form is a little bit better than the French this year, and I can't really see him as good as he is. A nice colt, trouble in Bern, Roussillon, or perhaps 1 or 2 of the others.
But we've had some really funny results in this race from time to time. Some rank outsiders have gone in. Here's another one, Grey Desire. In fact, he's a much bigger outsider than the other grey we've just seen, Green Paradise. He's at 66-to-1. Villicaya just going in. Grey Desire, I would have thought the pacemaking Cataldi would really drain away Grey Desire's stamina, but we'll see in a minute. Still 2-to-1 joint favourites, Roussillon and Bern. So Roussillon's come in quite a lot. Bern has drifted out a bit, and it's 6-to-1 bar 2 and 14-to-1 bar 4. Green Paradise playing up a little bit in the start. Here's another that would probably be suited by a shorter distance, Sharp Romance. A very impressive winner over 6 furlongs at Haydock in May, when he was always on the bridle, and Simon Whitworth just had to let out a reef, and he shot clear to win by 5 lengths from Lobbit. But he's got a different distance and a different class of horse to race against here. He's drawn 6. I think he'll be one of the last, though. Roussillon's still to go, and Lidham having the blindfold put on.
John, it's rather interesting. Roussillon in the centre of our picture there. Oh, he's just... Oh, dear, this is rather nice. Number 11, just giving a bit of a trouble. That is Lidham with Willie Carson. You can see he quickly whips the hood off. And he's just reassuring. Grab this, he's telling one of the handlers. We're trying to put him in without the blinds on. That was a nasty moment, actually, because that can be one of the nastiest falls a jockey can have. If he'd have just lost his balance, he would have probably landed on his back with Willie underneath. Willie quite wisely just puts his toes in the iron. Greville Starkey, as I was about to say, Roussillon, just watch this horse. When Greville makes his run, you'll just see actually that Roussillon carries his head a little bit high. But anyway, back to Lidham, Lidham, and I think the handlers who do a wonderful job are going to get him in all right, John.
Yes, certainly the blindfold didn't do the trick. He nearly went over backwards with Willie with the blindfold on. Normally, the blindfold doesn't seem to worry them, and they go in perfectly all right with it. But this horse, I don't think they'll try the blindfold again, Jimmy.
No, I think it'd be unwise. Willie's reassuring him. I think they nearly had him once, and I think they've got him this time. Let's join Peter.
Yes, that's it. Under orders, and they're away. Cataldi breaks very fast and is the early leader. Cataldi going on from Green Paradise and Bella Calora. Bella Calora going second now. Cataldi from Bella Calora, Green Paradise. Bern is about 6 at the moment, and Great Azar is the back marker, and Cataldi setting a very fast gallop indeed from Bella Calora. Lidam going up on the outside of Bella Calora. Then comes Villicaire and Green Paradise on his inside, then Bern, then comes Roussillon, then Sharp Romance and King of Clubs, and Great Azar as the back marker, and Cataldi is still taking him along at a tremendous gallop. From Bella Calora on the inside of Lidam, then comes Green Paradise and Villicaire together being tracked by Roussillon and Bern. Behind them, Sharp Romance, King of Clubs, and Great Azar, the back marker, and into the straight, 3.5 furlongs to run. Cataldi still from Bella Calora, Lidam, Villicaire, Bern coming there towards the stand side, Roussillon tracking them, and it's Cataldi still from Bella Calora. Then comes Villicaire. And Green Paradise still in contention. Bern coming there strongly on the stand side. Bella Calora's taking it up now from Bern. Then comes Villicaire. Then comes Roussillon. And it's Bern now. And Lester Piggott who've stormed to the front. Bern now with the advantage from Roussillon, the challenger on the stand side. And it's Bern and Roussillon. Then Villicaire as they race into the closing stages. It's Roussillon who's taking it up from Bern as they come to the line. It's Roussillon who's going to win this Platinum Stud Sussex Stakes from Bern. Roussillon is the winner. Bern is second, and King of Clubs is third, and 4 Villicaire. Then came Bella Calora behind them, Green Azar, Great Azar, and then came Green Paradise, and then Cataldi, Sharp Romance, and finally Lidam. And so the result is first, number 7, Roussillon, owned by Mr. Khaled Abdallah, trained by Guy Harwood, and written by Greville Starkey.